There's a school.
People say Dr. Umar Johnson is a scammer. What do you have to say about that?
No donors have ever said that. Only jealous YouTubian struggle streamers. We've already been audited by the IRS. So if I was a scammer, I think.
Where's that audit? Umar, you sit here and you say these things as if no one will look that up. I'm going to look up to see if there's an audit that FDMG has had from the IRS. You bet your ass I will. Why would he lie this bad? Does he really think that no one's going to look this up? If I go on the website and look for an IRS audit that was performed on ProPublica's website, because that's where they keep all those nonprofit organizations' tax statements and filings and everything, there would be an audit there if an audit had been performed. But I will do a Google search myself to see if there's an audit on file for FDMG. Why lie about something that can easily be debunked with documentation? You can't make this up. Put up the captions. Because I want people to see this in a replay.
Say about that.
No donors have ever said that. Only jealous.
Marianne Lorian is saying you're a scammer. And she's giving you money repeatedly. Who else is giving him money? Put a 1 in the chat if you've given money. Tariq Nasheed, said he's plenty of donors. Thank you, Jay Owens. Plenty of donors have said that he is a scammer. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been a donor and you know him to be a scammer. Don't be scared. It's okay. We will not bash you. What's going on, April Flower? How you doing? I just want to make sure I got in. Finette, I got your super in. Thank you so much. I just wanted to get some more comments in. Y'all put a 1 in the chat if you've ever donated. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever donated. Make sure y'all are hitting that like button as well. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever donated. If you've ever donated, put a 1 in the chat. We got the Informant Media. Is he a scammer, the Informant Media? When we was in college third year, it's fine. I don't care if it was $2. Is he a scammer? Would you consider him a scammer, the Informant Media? Anyone else that's giving him money? Put a 1 in the chat. Don't be shy. I'm just asking, if you've given him money, do you consider him to be a scammer? Because he's saying only donors. I got scammed by Umar. There you go. The Informant Media said he got scammed by Umar. Anyone else gave money? Consider him to be a scammer? Tariq Nasheed said he was a scammer. Tariq Nasheed a scammer too? Woody Kitty said I didn't give him jack. Me either. But you got Marianne Lawrence that gave him money and made a film about him. And she said he's a scammer. He has thousands of donors that have said flat out he's a scammer. So for him to think that, you got the Umar Tardians out there, but you have a lot of people that gave you money consistently. Not even just one time. And now they're saying you're a scammer, Umar. You're a scammer. The IRS will be saying the same thing as well.
YouTubian struggle streamers. We've already been audited by the IRS. So if I was a scammer, I think it would be known by now.
There's been a recent situation where they said that your accounts were frozen.
And what's interesting about that is Donald Trump just came out the other day, and I'm no fan of his, where he said that he's going to issue an executive order against debanking. I didn't know that this was a big deal in America, but banks are debanking people who they don't like.
People say that came at a coincidental timing when
they tried to
auction
our
because of
buildings behind our back.
Yeah. What is your response to people saying that that's coincidental?
What's coincidental?
For example, they're trying to say that you created that story of account being frozen so that you can get more money from people to then pay off that back taxes.
We have the paperwork from the bank telling us that they will no longer offer us their services. That's on paper. I don't believe in
Okay, so that's not frozen. They canceled your accounts. What are you talking about? Where's his documentation? Because he's a liar. He's a whole lie, and the truth ain't in him. I got some information on this audit thing. You all will not believe what I pulled up.
coincidences. I believe that
He's
that
a
was done
liar.
on purpose. I think that whole thing was a conspiracy to strip us of our buildings. You wait all this time to try to sell our buildings for an old bill,
Can't make
and you
this
do
up.
it as soon as the accounts are frozen, and don't tell us nothing.
People say the one thing that they use to try and delegitimize Dr. Umar Johnson is the fact that it's taken over 10 years.
We raised money for 5 years, and I have no problem with that. It took us 5 years to get to school. I had no problem with that. Should it have taken as long? No. We went through a lot with our contractors. We were scammed. We were ripped off. We were robbed.
People say that when you talk about things needed to get done, it's always another thing. Like, tomorrow is the day that never comes. That's what people say, right?
Things take time. Things always have to be re-repaired because you miss things in the initial repair. So I don't care.
Do you have a date that you think is actually...
I'm not giving no more date because every time I gave a date, we never met the date.
Because he's not going to open the school. It will never open. I'm waiting on these bank documents. Why won't he post it? If the accounts are closed, that means that they're no longer operable. So you can't, I mean, he could redact the account numbers, but they're dead numbers, so no one will be able to do anything with it. So why not post the document and redact the actual bank account number? Why not post up the evidence, Umar? You clown. Post up the evidence. I want to see those bank documents that you claim you received. He is just lying his ass off like it's nothing to this boy's face. And he said, I'm your biggest fan. This is what you look up to, dude? A man that is going to call you a coon to your face because you have one white friend and a plethora of lies that you have failed to vet and research yourself to see if there's been any audit done, if there's any bank documents, how many people who were donors actually consider him to be a scammer now. No information he's combating him with here. No pushback.
Over 10 years.
We raised money for 5 years, and I have no problem with that. It took us
You
5 years to get.
It's 6.5. You've been raising money since 2019 for the school in Wilmington. What are you talking about? He claims he bought the buildings for $750,000. Then he went on another show and said $400,000. So now you have a variation here that you can't explain, because that's what happens if you raise 800 grand and you say I spent 750,000. That little variance is not going to make a big difference, as opposed to saying I only spent 400,000. So where's the rest? But of course, he doesn't want to be held accountable and justify the rest of the money. He has yet to show proof that he even had an account to be closed or frozen. Oh, it was so unfair that they did this. Where's the evidence on this stuff?
School, I had no problem with that. Should it have taken as long? No. We went through a lot with our contractors. We were scammed. We were ripped off. We were robbed.
People say that when you talk about things needed to get done, it's always another thing. Like, tomorrow is the day that never comes. That's what people say, right?
Things take time. Things always have to be re-repaired because you miss things in the initial repair. So
what needs to be re-repaired? What needs to be re-repaired? We watched this man scrub dookie out of toilets. What needed to be re-repaired? That's not a word. Re-repaired is not a word. Umar, get the hell out of our country. Just get the hell out. Go to Africa. Just go to Africa. No one will stop you. You will not be missed. Take your Umar Tardians with you. All of them. Just go to Africa with that nonsense. The entire continent. Get out. The lies in this one spiel he did within the last 3-4 minutes of this interview, he just goes hammer time on the lies. Hammer time. Just it's like back to back to back. What needs to be re-repaired again? Where are the permits on file with the city to show something needing to be re-repaired? And the permit should have that in the description, that something needs to be re-repaired. Wouldn't you just have the vendor come back out and correct their error? Wouldn't that be the natural choice? If I order something and it's damaged, I would take it back to the store I purchased it from. If I really want it, we'll get a replacement. If they don't have any, then give me my refund. That's the same way it works when it comes to services rendered. You go somewhere, even let me tell y'all something. Before my hair went natural, I used to keep my hair done every week. There have been times where my beautician that I have for over 20 years would do something and I was like, I'm not really happy with it. And it was only a few times, like, because you don't piss off your beautician, right? Don't piss off the stylist because they control the shears and stuff near your hair. You don't want them cutting the stuff, or they really do something to it with the color or something like that. Now you're really mad because you done made them mad. But there have been a couple times where, I mean, go outside and it's like I haven't had anything done in my hair at all because maybe it wasn't, the curls weren't tight enough or something. Or it just, I didn't really like it because I didn't see all of what she done to it. Get home and I see it and I'm like, I don't really like this. This is not what I asked for. And she would say, okay, I'm going to schedule some time for you to come back and I'll do it over again. It's that simple. You're talking about services being rendered. When you're not satisfied with the service, you call the vendor back out and have them fix it because you're paying them to do this in a school building designed for children. You don't just throw some stuff together if it's something for the elderly or for children or babies or anything. Because you got people who will feel some type of way if you half-ass put something together and you got kids going into this building. And the next thing you know, the damn thing done collapsed. We're going to find you and beat you in the streets. Like, because this could have been avoided. Why not go back to the vendor and say, y'all need to come back. Y'all effed up these walls. I don't like the paint in the bathrooms. It's purple. It looked like Barney the dinosaur threw up all over the walls. And then just swirled and played in it. Some of it landed in the toilet. Y'all need to come back and repaint this stuff. This ain't gonna work. This is a boy's bathroom. And then they come back and fix it, especially if it's not what you agreed or paid them to do. He's saying we got to have things re-repaired. But what needs to be re-repaired? What the hell needs to be re-repaired? A word that doesn't exist. What needs to be re-repaired here? What's the pushback on these things he's saying? He's not even trying to ask him these questions. He lied on contractors. Thank you, Francisca. Anyone who has done work on a business has contracts and lawyers. A tax exempt status are audited and the books have to add up. Exactly, Boston man. He's talking about they've been audited. They've been fully audited by the IRS. No, the IRS would be hunting your ass down, Umar, if they actually audited FDMG tax records. Because he has no financial records at all. He has a tax firm that does the taxes. We pulled that up. Y'all know who the tax firm is. And no expenses listed. And they can't even make sure that the contributions year after year on the tax returns even match. And people got mad because I pulled up the actual company that did the tax firm. Why? Because he said the IRS audited them. So wouldn't the IRS have reached out to the tax firm as well? Yes, they would. Because that's part of what you pay for when you get a tax firm to do your taxes and you're not doing it yourself, right? But he's saying they've been audited. Where's the audit report? He just said they've been audited. You can't make this shit up. Oh my God.
Thing. Yeah. Tomorrow's the day that never comes. That's what people say, right?
Things take time. Things always have to be re-repaired because you miss things in the initial repair. So I don't care.
Do you have a date that you think is actually?
I'm not giving no more date because every time I gave a date, we never met the date. And the reason we never met the date is I was the because we were scammed, we were ripped off, we were robbed.
People say that when you talk about things needed to get done, it's always another thing. Like, tomorrow's the day that never comes. That's what people say, right?
Things take time. Things always have to be re-repaired because you miss things in the initial repair. So I don't care.
Do you have a date that you?
That's it. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. That's how he truly feels. I don't care. He doesn't. It's been 6.5 years. He's talking about 5. Any other time he'll say it's been almost 7 years I've been at this. No one's doing it like me. But now it's 5 years, so he's diminishing how long he's been trying to not open a school. All of a sudden now you want to diminish it. No, 6.5 years, you idiot. I have a copy of the deeds, Umar. Your name is not on it. K-12 management. It's the primary. FDMG LLC is the secondary. You're not anywhere on that at all. And when you file those taxes, guess what? You're listed as executive director, not the owner, not the president, a director. And all I'm going to go on is what's in writing. I don't call him the owner of the buildings. I don't even like to say he bought the buildings because I haven't seen any concrete proof of that. When you get a deed, your name is listed on it. When my truck was paid off, the title has my name on it, not LadyLuckClubLLC. It has my name on it. It just, if you are part owner of something, your name will be listed on the deed. His is not on that deed. And he has no proof that he himself bought the schools, where you can see an actual quote, some sort of receipt, some documents of the purchase, proof of the purchase with his name on it. Where's any of that documentation? Because the deeds say FDMG LLC, not FDMG LLC and Umar Johnson. And there are plenty of deeds that have LLCs and the individual listed on the deeds as the secondary. He is not on there. And then you turn around and list yourself on the taxes as director with no salary. You can't make this stuff up.
I think it's actually...
I'm not giving no more date because every time I gave a date, we never met the date. And the reason we never met the date is I was depending on a contractor. And so when they betrayed the date, we had to betray the date.
Prior to that, he's building a school in Nigeria.
Okay.
Quick, K-12 management is the primary on the deed, and FDMG Leadership Academy, the LLC itself. But his name is not listed on it. So it's not on. Yeah, I got the deed. He's not listed on the deed. But if let's say he bought the school buildings from K-12 management, or he was listed as a second as the individual, his name would be on the deed. Nope, it's the LLC itself. And honestly, I think K-12 management is kind of like a parent company to FDMG LLC. And it's like the parent company transferring the properties to one of the subsidiaries. And it was just that $10 transfer fee. I have not seen one receipt showing proof that it was purchased for $400,000. When you go on the city's website, you only see that $10 fee. It's hard for me to believe, being in finance, that they would not just show, like they've done any other time those same two properties were purchased. You can see how much the properties were purchased for, except when it goes from K-12 management to FDMG LLC, it's just that $10 fee. That sounds like a transfer fee of going from the parent company to the subsidiary, not a complete purchase. Because I can't go beyond that. I can't go beyond what I see on documentation. And the only time you see like a $10 fee like that, when you're talking about a transfer of the deed fee, just a fee to transfer the deed from a parent company to a subsidiary company. But a complete purchase, a complete sale would have the sale price. It would have the amount of money you spent. Because why would it not do it for all the other sales for those same buildings, but somehow show some deferential treatment to FDMG? That doesn't make sense. So I just, working in finance, I just fail to believe that. I fail to believe that that there's some purchase involved when I can't see any purchasing documents. And the only fee you see on the city's website is $10. That's nothing more than a transfer deed, just the price to transfer the deed. That's it.
I know he is.
And
I'm ready.
During that time, everybody was attacking him, telling him he's a scammer. To dispel the haters, he gave full financial transparency and told everything that was going on. Can you give full financial transparency?
I can, but I wouldn't.
Okay, why not?
Because the only people we are accountable to are our donors. If you're not a donor, we owe you nothing. We are not a publicly funded school.
Would you do that to the donor?
Sure. My donors,
nope.
Yeah. But the donors don't care because they understand what...
No, they do care. They do care. And then he lied there. Y'all saw how fast. Sure, he wouldn't even look in the camera, rolling around like a child with his arms folded up. That's a stance you take when you're trying to self-soothe, because he knows he's lying. So he's trying to keep him out of his personal space. Y'all ever watch interrogations? There's so many tactics and body language that goes into this. And he's lying, and he's sitting here doing this number here, and he's turning away because it's innate. He's telling a lie, and he doesn't even want to face the camera or Daniel at all because he knows he's lying. And he's sitting here just kind of closing himself in because he's lying.
Owe you nothing. We are not a publicly funded school.
Would you do that to the donor?
Sure. My donors.
He turns away and
but the donors don't care because they understand what we're going through. The donors have been there through the whole ride. It's that.
He didn't even look at the camera. He's like, sure, yeah, my donors. But they don't care. They don't care. Now, he's lying. Donors have been asking. Nothing but donors and people who were previous donors are going to stop being donors because he won't provide any information. Unless, Charlemagne and Mark Lamont decide to do something, but, whatever.
Haters who have all the questions, and the haters don't matter.
Do you believe that there are any people that do doubt you that may be valid, like logically conclusive, like they're not just haters?
If you have never donated to the FDMG Academy, you can ask all the questions you want, but we owe you no answers.
Okay, what about the ones that do that still doubt?
I don't know of any donor who doubts 99% of our donors.
He does. He just calls them haters. That's his way of dealing with it. That's his way of avoiding it. Oh, you're a donor for 5 years and you're asking me questions, then you're a hater. That's it. That's how he deals with it in his mind. This is what scammers do. You know how many times I have done research and reporting on con artists, and their dumb cult leaders, the cult members come into the chat. If you don't know anything about Novatech, how do you know if it's a scam? You're not a part of it. I don't need to be in a scam to know what a scam looks like. It's called the signs and symptoms of a scam. I just need to have the understanding of what a scam looks like. And this is being based on research and investigations and case law where scams have been charged and indicted by the feds. Like that's what I go on. Novatech being the prime example. Thousands of comments used to come into my videos. You never been a part of Novatech, so you don't know. How do you know what's going on? Because this is no different than Charles Ponzi, Robert, what was his name? Murdoch. You got scam Enron. The signs and symptoms of a scam are all pretty much the same. They have outliers and factors that help you to determine. There's a whole test that you can utilize to determine whether or not you're paying into a scam or not. So the information that is out there, all I have to do is research and read it. I don't need to be in the scam and say, yeah, this is a scam. It's stupid. Knowing I'll never get my money back. I don't gamble like that. But that's how he speaks. Well, you're not donating in it, so you don't know. Who needs to donate to a school that will never open to say that it's a scam? Those contribution packages on his website are nothing more than, high yield investment packages, except you're not investing into anything. But they're HYIPs nonetheless. Those are related to pyramid schemes. And you're not getting any return on your investment. So you're just giving him money. And yet we can't find one permit on file, Umar, or proof of purchase of a building or any of that at all. Documentation to show that you're trying to open a school. Nothing. Then he lied about an audit.
Donors are repeat donors. I even know their names. We never get one donation. People donate to us over and over and over again. So if they had questions, they would
can't make this
up. People asking the questions are haters who don't donate. I pay them no mind. See, the issue is they want me to be accountable to people who don't support us. I would be a fool to do that. I don't know of no corporation in America that say, hey, come look at all of our paperwork, all of our financial transactions. Nobody does that. This is a business. And when you have haters like I have, you got to protect your interests and protect your business.
Nobody does that? But you said the IRS did a full audit. He said the IRS did a full audit. Hold that thought. Oh, okay. Because his lying ass clearly, All right. So if y'all see here, just right quick, I want y'all to see this. because he said the IRS did an audit. Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Leadership Academy cannot currently be evaluated by our accountability and finance methodology in audit due to only having 3 years of electronically filed IRS Form 990 data, and that being either a 990 EZ, N, or PF does not qualify. What audit has been done when they're not able to do it because it's only 3 years of electronically filed IRS Form 990 data? Where's the audit? I literally typed IRS audit of FDMG Leadership Academy. We can just take out FDMG and just put FDMG. Where's the audit? It may involve. They're telling you what an audit triggers. Where's the actual audit? I don't see anything with an audit. I'm looking it up. He said the IRS did an audit. Y'all see it? I don't see an audit. Let's see if we got anything here. Because I'm like, where's the audit? I don't see any audits here. And I'm gonna show you all, like it would say audit over here if there was an audit. You see view filing schedules. Y'all see these 990 schedules, and then it gives you a method to print it out or view it as an XML. Where's there? It would say audit over here if it was an audit. Where's an audit? Yeah, I don't see an audit. I'm just saying, where's an audit been done? Y'all see an audit? Let me put in another. Let's put in I Promise Schools to see if they have an audit. So you all can see what it would look like if it was an audit done. I just want to pull up something. Hold on. I Promise. Jalen Rose. What's his name? What's his school? Because I want you all to see what it would look like if it was an audit done. I don't know what his name of his school is. What's the name of his school? I'm just trying to find one audit so y'all can see what they look like. Because if you got an audit done, I expect to see a report. I expect to see an audit report. This ain't what I want. I'm gonna keep looking, but so far from what I've seen, I haven't seen an audit. Y'all let me know if y'all come across an audit report for FDMG, because so far I don't see one. And ProPublica will post up audits because that's where they post all the tax forms for nonprofit organizations. So y'all see an audit, let me know. I'm gonna keep looking, but if any of you all come across an audit done on FDMG, please email it to me, and I will pull it up in real time. This is crazy. You can't make this stuff up.
Business, so I don't care what they say. It's all about divine timing. When God is ready for the school to be done, it'll be done.
Once that happens, I feel like a lot of people will be quiet.
No, they won't. They'll move the goalpost. Before, they said we'd never get a school. 5-6 years ago, he'll never get a school. He just scammed. We ended up with 2 schools, not one. Then they said it'll never open. And then when we open it, they'll just move and move. Because this is not about the truth. This is about slander.
But that's the thing. You talk about speak about the analytics that are on your Instagram and how big that reach is. Don't you think that the way you channel that messaging to that reach can help change the image that people have. Because I do think there are well-minded black people that doubt you. I've had my doubts.
Which is fine. I don't care what none of y'all think.
But I'm saying when I talk
He doesn't care.
Especially when I saw you in Atlanta that day. It's genuinely what changed it. Because you spoke to every individual. Like, everybody was asking you a question. Because it shows that you wanted to dedicate every bit of you to the people in that community. And it was a small subset of people in West Atlanta. And I'm from Atlanta, so to see people do that, it's like, I can't say that's fake. The only criticism I could say is working on how that is personified. And I think a good example of that is not giving a date again.
For me, I think it's disingenuous to not focus on how the critics have undermined the success of FDMG. We have been outright sabotaged. We have been reported to LNI. We have been reported to the Attorney General. I have been reported to the FBI. Nobody talks about the sabotage that is done to keep the...
No, you reported to the FBI if you've participated in some sort of criminal activity, you know, like cyber crimes that include cyber harassment, cyberbullying, doxing, making threats over electronic devices, possible mail and wire fraud, defrauding the elderly. I can keep going. You know, you've had people pull up at people's houses. Just in and of itself, that falls under, you know, being a co-conspirator. Of course, you're going to be reported to the FBI. And you should be reported to the IRS for lying on the IRS for doing an audit where there's no proof of that. I'm like, if anyone can find me this audit, let me know. In the meantime, let me show you all Jalen Rose School. This right here, audited financial statements. Here's an audit. Now, you can have a company like a specific financial firm do an audit, and then they submit that to the IRS to have on file as well, which is what was done here with Jalen Rose. This is Allen C. Young and Associates, certified public accountants and consultants. They did a complete audit. Financial statements of Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. In addition to our audit report, we are providing the following required communication, which impacts the academy. And here is that communication required under AU-C 260. This would also go to the IRS, just in case they need to see the taxes in the documents match up with the audits here. This is an audit report, people. Here you go. I expect to see something like this. Audit. Here's the letter. Here's the CPA information. Here's what's included here. This was done on June 30th of 2024, or after the school year ended. So this was October 2024 that this letter was done. The audit was completed. Results of audit. Where's the audit, Umar? Where's the damn audit? I'm just saying, where is the IRS? The IRS audit would be on that ProPublica website. Where's the IRS audit report for FDMG Leadership Academy? Umar Johnson. See, lying that bad, and then you get mad when people go back behind you and prove you to be the dumb liar you are. It doesn't benefit you to lie. Don't even bring it up. No one told him to bring up anything about an IRS audit. He wasn't even asked about it. So why bring it up? Why bring it up? Here's what the results of an audit looks like. They give you the responsibilities here. This is only 5 pages long. The scope of the audit, significant risks and others, significant audit matters, the qualitative results. They're going to give you all this information here in an audit report. And then what the detailed audit report would include would be the financials. It would have, you know, certain expense reports, payroll reports, other expenditures here, as you all can see under the school. This is on the school website for Jalen Rose. Current operating expenditures, personnel expenditures, that's payroll, board approved budgets. So you have other financial data you can look at. But they have an audit that was done, and you can see it there on the school website. See, when you don't have a school website, Umar, you don't have a standing a room to sit here and talk about someone being a hater and not asking you questions, especially if they're donors. You're just going to call them haters either way. But you are not even smart enough to get a domain to create a school website. Not even smart enough to do that. You can't make this up. He is such a bad liar, but yet he's the greatest self-snitcher of all times. Because who told him to bring up anything about an audit? Who told him that? Why bring it up? He wasn't even asked about it. Did you all have an audit? He didn't even ask him about it. So why bring it up? He wants it to sound more credible than it really is. But then when people go back behind him and fact check him, oh, it's the struggle streamers and the haters. No, it's you being an idiot and a moron and a doofus and a dummy and flat out stupid and ignorant for even putting that out there. You're telling on yourself. We're just here for it.
The school from opening by the very same people who criticize it. That's hypocrisy.
Well, the people that doubt him, I feel like I've said every opinion in the argument.
If you doubt me, f you.
Oh my God. Yeah, F you too. Go to hell. Yeah, that's the whole. Yeah, this is the whole interview. If you doubt me, F you. Okay. I want to hear the IRS say that. Now, I want to hear him say that to the IRS. That'll be epic. Yeah. We're coming up on 2 hours and 20 minutes, y'all. I appreciate you all tuning in. I would love for him to say that to the IRS. You doubt me? F you. Yeah, go ahead and let that happen. Threatening workers. I need us to create a crowd fund to help the family just in case any of us have emergencies like the lounge just had her car accident. It'll be nice to send them some flowers or something. Yeah, if you guys, I don't have her information, but if you all have, if I can get one of the mods to at least drop her YouTube channel link in the chat and make sure you guys please go check out her channel, and it should be somewhere in the description for, donations that can be made. Please, make sure you just check on and look out for, support her. I know that they're going to be, and I told her, I said, you need to keep track of everything so you can sue their asses off and get a settlement. So she did say she was going to get an attorney, but the attorney will more than likely recover their fees on the back end once they get a settlement. I don't foresee the driver of that car fighting. And if they try, then they're just stupid and they're asking for it. But I do anticipate her getting a settlement for that. So, but you guys make sure you show her some love. Let's see here. For real, Umar is just not legitimate. He's not. It's Chernobyl. A horrible liar. He's just dumb. Man, you guys, you can't make this up. He keeps putting his foot in his mouth. This is so refreshing. Yes. To see him lying this bad and then to go behind him, fact check him, and to see, yeah, no, there's no IRS audit on of FDMG. And I'm looking again, FDMG Leadership Academy, because, I just like to sear it in. Yep. Let's see what, nothing. Umar, you a lying piece of crap, and you're a bad one at that. Currently cannot be evaluated. If they can't do an audit, why would you lie and say that they've done one? Where's the audit? I mean, if they can't do one, why would you even why even say that? It's so stupid. He's an idiot. I wouldn't even put that out there. Currently cannot be evaluated for any. We currently require either an accountability and finance beacon or an impact assessment to be eligible for a charity navigator rating. He can't even get one done. So what is he talking about? And if he were to get one done, guess what? He will fail because he can't even provide expenses. That's what's so crazy about this. If he were to get one done, he will fail. Y'all can go on the charity navigator here, but no, he hasn't had one because he can't get one done. Currently cannot cannot currently be evaluated by our accountability and finance methodology due to only having 3 years of electronically filed IRS forms. To ensure year-to-year consistency, the Encompass Rating Systems Accountability and Finance Beacon analyzes the 3-year average of some data provided through the IRS Form 990. Now get out of here. Charity Navigator currently only has 3 years of a consecutive e-filed Forms 990 from the IRS for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Leadership Academy under EIN 84-5179390. They can't do it. They don't even have enough data to do it. So what the hell is he saying? I'm going to put this link in the chat. Because I just love destroying his ass and debunking him bit by bit. How do you say you had an audit done? No, you haven't. This is what happens, though, with Umar Tardians. They don't stop and think to research something. Let me Google this. Let me look this up. You say it was an audit done? But, you know, everybody's a hater if you ask them a question. No, never mind the fact that you may have been a donor for like 5 or 10 years, purchasing those HYIPs on his website, those high-yield investment packages that are a pyramid scheme. Yeah, no. You could have been doing that for the last 5 to 10 years. You don't care about that. You ask him one question where it involves a receipt. Oh, you're just a hater. After 5 years, now I'm a hater. You could have been at the diamond level status where you're giving $1,000 a month, but you're a hater if you ask a question. No, this is called accountability. Researching information and fact-checking him. So now that he's saying an IRS audit has been done, guess what he's opened the door for us to do? Contact the IRS and say that this man is saying that an audit has been done. Can you all verify that? And if not, can you mark it to be audited? Because apparently an IRS audit needs to be done. See, Umar, you're an idiot. This is why. I want to pull up my whole face so you can understand. Now you all can contact the IRS and tell the IRS, Umar Johnson wants an audit of FDMG Leadership Academy because he went on a show and sent them that video link and said in an IRS report, an audit had been performed. When we looked it up, no audit report was in the system. So we're missing an audit report. So can you all go ahead and do an audit on FDMG? Because we're not seeing it. If you all have it, can you all send us a copy or post it up? You can ask directly to the IRS now because he's lying on an entire federal government agency that they have performed an audit that there is no proof to verify. But apparently one needs to be done. So there you go. Get the IRS to do an audit. Because Umar puts his foot in his mouth because he's a moron. Y'all got the EIN? Make sure you give them the EIN. Yeah, don't forget that. I'll make sure I put the EIN in here. So y'all can say, yeah, here's the EIN number, you know, because he's an idiot. But he wants an audit to be done by the IRS. So y'all have at it. There's the EIN. Make sure you contact the IRS to say they need an audit. They haven't been able to get one, but now he's saying one has been done already. So I guess you guys are just behind on the 8 ball and y'all need to get one done. I love it. I love proving a point. Every time he gets caught in his lie, we are here for it in the Lady Luck Club. Yep, we're here for it. So James Miller, if you in here, yeah, you just got your boss effed up. He effed up because he put his foot in his mouth. He said the IRS has done an audit. We're going to make sure the IRS does an audit because we want that audit report. The Lord knows we do. All right, y'all. That's all I got for this show for this evening. I will be going live. I'm going to probably push it back to 9 for Candace Owens. We got some things to discuss with her. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Shout out to you, Finette, for the $2 super once again. It's going to go towards the purchase of a new desk here in the Lady Luck Club. You guys see we have the lights. We have the green screen that's up. I am so excited and just happy to be back on screen with you all and enjoying you guys. And listen, researching and reporting and giving this good information is what I do. It's what I do. And since he wants an IRS audit to be done, we're going to make sure it gets done. Yes, we are, Umar. We're going to make sure FDMG gets audited. You're a clown, boy. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. You guys, make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Drop your comments and stuff below. Make sure you catch the replay if you can. And I appreciate all of you all for tuning in. And we will be back tomorrow checking out the interview he did on 98.1, along with the video that the lounge posted up of him going on a college campus and recording these college girls. It's so disgusting. Oh, man. But you do it because you want the parents to hopefully see it, and then they can go and whoop his ass. All right. So you guys take care. Have a good evening. And until the next one, catch the next stream if you can with Candace Owens. But if not, please catch the replay and subscribe to the Lady Luck Club. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out.